I'm glad that the two of you brought that to the table, because at least it got me to just take a deep breath for a second here and smile. Because, I wasn't smiling yesterday when I wasn't at work. Well, because I was listening to you guys, and you and TK did a good job yesterday. And part of the show...
Low T in the building.
He did a good job. I was listening to you guys talk about the Phillies situation, right? And yesterday, Dombrowki spoke, and they introduced Adolis Garcia. And in a vacuum, Adolis Garcia is fine. He's fine, right? He's had a pretty good career. He's been a big October player a few years ago to help the Rangers win a World Series. And if we're looking for an upgrade over Nick Castellanos, he probably is an upgrade over Nick Castellanos. So I'm cool with that. But Hugh, as we add this whole thing together, it's almost Christmas. And when I heard Dombrowki speak yesterday about the Phillies, you know what sense I got? What's that? I got the, we'll see. The sense I got yesterday, as you put your mic back on, is, see you in Clearwater, guys. My work here is done. We'll see you down in spring training. And if that's the case, it's not good enough. I'm frustrated with this Phillies offseason, and I say that clearly knowing that last week they spent a lot of money on Kyle Schwarber, and I'm glad he's back. I wanted him back. He was the number one guy I wanted to bring back. But Hugh, I look at this team, and I don't think they've done enough this offseason, even assuming that they're going to bring JT Realmuto back. I look at the team and say, all right, they're the same at catcher. They're the same at first. They're the same at second. They're the same at short. They're the same at third. They're slightly better in right. I have no idea what we're going to get out of a rookie, Justin Crawford. I'm excited to watch him. He was a first-round pick. He comes from pedigree. His dad was a heck of a player, and he could be a good player, but he wasn't even good enough to get up here at all last year, and now he's just being anointed the center fielder, and we're doing the Marsh thing all over again in left field. It doesn't feel good enough. And I would love for the Phillies to act like the Eagles act, which is never be satisfied, never think the roster's good enough, always try to get a little bit better. And I watch this offseason, and I see a big old shrug of the shoulders from Dave Dombrowki. Oh, well, we're pretty good. We'll see you in spring training. It's not good enough for me. The Phillies are going to lose Ranger Suarez. They basically say goodbye to Harrison Bader yesterday, and I'm struggling to see how they're better entering next season if this is the team they have. Hugh, where are you at? Because I am frustrated with this Phillies offseason. I don't think they've done enough, and I think they're too content. Oh, we're good. We'll be fine. We'll see you next spring training.
That's a good question, Joe. I feel like part of the reason why they haven't said a whole lot is because most of the moves that they could potentially make are in-house. There was some talk about, Baum being traded last year. Mm-hmm. That I feel like that might still be on the table. JT's out of here. Not JT. Castellanos.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Castellanos is out of here.
Castellanos is the most out of here you could be still under contract.
As far as JT is concerned, I think you have to re-sign him because you really don't have any backup for him. You don't have any plan B for him. So I think that most of the moves that they're talking about potentially making or can make, you have to make the in-house moves first. So that's probably why he said what he said. He's playing it close to the best.
Yeah, Hugh, I hope you're right, but I don't know, man. Dave Dombrowski, for the most part, has not been a super aggressive Phillies general manager or president of baseball operations. They've had a lot of off seasons kind of like this one. We'll bring our guys back, and then we'll just kind of hang out and see what happens. I mean, 2 years ago, Whit Merrifield was the only addition they made. And that didn't work out. No, last year, I give them credit for the Luzardo move. That was an excellent one. But other than that, they kind of kept the offense exactly the way it was, and it wasn't good enough. I don't know how many more years they have to do the same thing before they say we have to change it up. And you could say, Joe, they're changing it up. Garcia's different than Castellanos. Sure. He's a similar offensive player, more power but similar, swings and misses a lot, doesn't have a great on base, better defender. I'm good with that. It's a fine one-year deal. But last year they did the one-year deal with Max Kepler, and they were like, we'll make him better. He'll bounce back. No, he didn't. He was the Max Kepler he was the last few years for the Twins. I don't expect Garcia to bounce back to where he was a few years ago. And Hugh, the Crawford thing is interesting because I think a lot of people want him to play, and he's an exciting young player. But are we in the process of developing young players, or are we trying to win a World Series? Because I'll tell you what, right now, and the Phillies told us this last year, right now, Harrison Bader is a better player than Justin Crawford. Because last year they had a chance to bring Crawford up, and they didn't do it. They traded for Harrison Bader, and now, a few months later, they basically did a press conference yesterday saying goodbye to Harrison Bader and anointing Justin Crawford. I'm just failing to understand what the objective is here. Is it a transition year, or are we trying to win the World Series?
You know what? It's interesting that you said like that. I think that when you talk about the Crawford move, that's more of infusion of youth.
Yep.
I was about to say of a youngster, but youth, same thing. It's an infusion of youth and trying to give him an opportunity. But again, you ask the question, who is coming in after him or who's going to back him up? I think Bader might still be in play, maybe.
I don't, and not after what I heard yesterday. Let's hear Dombrowski. Let's hear what he said yesterday, because it feels to me, unless he just lied to us yesterday or he's playing possum with the media and the agents, I think the Bader thing is done. Let's hear Dave Dombrowski talking about the outfield being improved.
I guess in your mind, what makes this outfield a better or an improvement, I guess, maybe off of last year's unit, especially maybe the way you ended the season there with the combination you had for the last 2 months?
Well, I mean, it's a situation that we like the players. We think Brandon Marsh is a good player, particularly when he hasn't taken the next step versus left-handed pitching. We've talked about that. Will he do it? I'm not sure. But we do like Otto Kemp. We think when we look at ourselves that's one of the best combos in left field if you look at the two of them. Adolis, we think it helps us in right field. It gives us an improvement there. And we think Justin's going to be a good player. We'll just but again, with young players, you have to give them the opportunity. And people may say, well, this versus that, and he's not as good as this versus that. But until you put him out there, you really don't know. But we think he's going to be very good. We think he's going to be a really good player. He has some real speed to our ball club. He makes contact. Just a lot of good things about him.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah, he's hoping. He's hoping. Like the infusion of youth,
hoping.
A youth injection, if you will.
Is the goal to win the World Series next year, or are we hoping young players could play? I just think the Phillies tell me what the direction is, because this doesn't feel. The Schwarber thing points to we're trying to win, right? We're bringing our guy back. He's our best hitter. We're bringing him back. But the other things they've done this offseason point to a transition year. Again, they're letting Ranger Suarez go to give Andrew Painter a chance to make the rotation. Right now, who's the better pitcher? Obviously, Ranger Suarez. Yeah. Right? Andrew Painter had a 5-year ERA last year in the minor leagues. They're letting Harrison Bader walk away to give Justin Crawford a chance to play every day. They told us last year that the better player was Harrison Bader because they could have just brought up Crawford. They traded for Harrison Bader. So I'm frustrated with this offseason. I don't think they've done enough. And if the goal is to go beat the Dodgers and win a World Series, I don't think they've done enough here. And it feels and here's why I'm frustrated on December 17th. Because, Hugh, you're right. There's 2 months to go. There's spring training's not here yet. Maybe they're not done. Maybe. But listening to Dombrowski yesterday talking about what's next, it certainly says to me that he's done with the heavy lifting here.
Anything else you look at? Bullpen rotation? I mean, what else do you look at?
Well, I think you're always to get better. But I don't have a real big need. I guess we look for, arms in the bullpen, but we're also, we've got 5 solid guys out there that are of veteran status. And so sometimes you have to give some young guys an opportunity too. We think that we have some guys that we like. So, that's really where it stands. And maybe, depth at different positions. We're dealing with that, but I think as far as our everyday positional players, other than catcher, we're pretty well set.
Our everyday positional players, other than catcher, we are set. I just don't think they've done enough. I find it very frustrating. 215-592-9494. And again, if they went out and got a better infielder, if they upgraded at second base or third base, then I can live with the outfit. I'm not against playing a young player. I mean, Crawford, again, it comes for pedigree. He was a first-round pick, but this is good enough? Is this good enough? I mean, just everyone ask yourself that question. What they have right now, is this good enough? It feels like it's not to me.
I think he's playing it close to the vest. I'm going to give him the benefit of that. I think he's playing it close to the vest, even though there is a history and a track record of when he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. This can't be. Because when you talk about this fan base and the way that the season ended last year, they're still not happy about that. They're not happy about it.
Well, then act like it.
No, I'm talking about the fan base.
No, I know. Well,
the fan base wasn't happy about it.
Yeah. I want the Phillies to act like it.
Yeah, he was a little hot, wasn't he? He sounded like TK yesterday.
Act like it. Was TK yelling?
TK yell every time he come back from break. What are you talking about?
Well, that's just his energy, I think. That's just
Did you just ask if TK was yelling?
TK.
Was he yelling? Was he yelling at you?
Well, no, he just yells.
Oh, yeah.
Sportsradio 92.9 The Game. I'm like, damn.
No, it's 94 WIP.
94 WIP. You know what I mean.
How do you still do that?
Because I don't say it a whole lot. If I started to bring us back in, then it would be more like, I would do it.
If you started to bring us back in, no one would know what city they're in.
Yeah, they would. What the hell is you talking about? That's why they let me do, like, in increments, they let me do.
And you nail those every time. 215-592.
Stick to the Fanatics.
94-94.
Yeah, those right there is enough.
Oh, can't wait for that. All right, Kyle, what are you feeling here? Are you frustrated with the Phils?
Yeah, frustrated's a good word. I guess I would also describe it as like I'm bored.
Yep.
You're bored.
Well, yeah. Based on how I felt by the end of the season last year, I felt like we were close to the Dodgers, and I know a lot of people didn't feel that way, but I did. I feel like it was the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, and the Phillies were all like that top three there. So I guess what I wanted to see was them to make moves that, let them compete with the Dodgers. The bar is the Dodgers right now. Mm-hmm. How are we going to make our roster better so that we can compete with the Dodgers? And while, the Dodgers are doing what the Dodgers do, they're going to add players. They got Edwin Diaz. I'm sure they're not done. They're probably going to.
I'm glad you brought that up, right? They took a World Series team whose weakness was their bullpen and added one of the best closers in baseball.
Right. So, the Dodgers are going to continue ascending. Meanwhile, we're doing things that make me think, and I'm sort of with you. I think you had the right word for it, like a transition year. So, I guess I'm just disappointed in that they're not going for it. At least they don't seem to be. I'm confused because I think the Phillies aren't giving us a clear direction right now because it feels like they're stuck in the middle of this of the go for it type thing. When you bring Kyle Schwarber back, you bring JT Realmuto back, but then you fill other holes with guys like Andrew Painter or Justin Crawford who've never played in the big leagues before. So I guess I'm confused because the Phillies are confusing. Is how I'd put it.
It's a good way to put it. 215-592-9494. Phillies offseason so far. Are you frustrated? I am, and that's even including bringing Kyle Schwarber back, which I wanted to do, and I'm glad he's here. But I don't look at the Phillies as much better than the team that walked off the field in the playoffs. In fact, are they better? I don't know how I say they're better. I mean, Garcia is probably a little bit better than Castellanos. All right, well that's a swap. Is Crawford better than the Bader we had at the end of last season?
Bader was balling.
Bader was balling, right. I mean, one day Crawford's probably going to be better than Bader, and that day might be within a couple years. But today, opening day, probably not. And then Rangers off the team. And then look like they're bringing him back. So it just feels to me like it's like a shrug your shoulders off season. Again, when I heard Dombrowki speak yesterday, what I heard was, we'll see in Clearwater, guys. And that doesn't feel acceptable for a team that's trying to go win a World Series. 215-592-9494.
We don't.
If we don't, we don't. I mean, don't ever want to be like Andy McPhail. I mean, you never want to be like Andy McPhail.